Slovenia are sending indie rock group Joker out to Liverpool with Carpe Diem. It's one of the only songs of the year, fun fact, where the title is not actually mentioned in the song anywhere. There you go. But will they be the Jokers or the Kings of the Eurovision stage in Liverpool? Let's find out. Let's review Eurovision. So Slovenia has been in Eurovision quite a while now, but it's been a while since they've sent something quite like this. Joker Out is a five-piece group, indie rock, and they're sending their song Carpe Diem. They're hoping to reverse some pretty middling results over the past few years. Will they do it?
I feel like I shouldn't like this, but I really, really do. It feels like such a guilty pleasure. It's so kind of like, essentially, you never really see kind of indie pop at Eurovision, and when you do, it never does that well. But and when you do get it, it's usually kind of in English and not that great. Whereas I'm so happy that they've sent a song in Slovenian that is really catchy, and I really enjoy it. I think because it's so not Eurovision, that's maybe where I perhaps have some concerns as to how well it'll do. But as a song on its own, I think it's great, and I would happily listen to it, and it puts me in a good mood. And they're all very lovely looking boys, just out there.
Yeah, all right, Emily.
Has been commented on. Has been. I think, yeah, I really enjoy this. It feels like a guilty pleasure for me. I hope it doesn't have to be a guilty pleasure and could just be enjoyable on its own without feeling guilty. But yeah, I really, really like this one.
It's interesting that you say it's a guilty pleasure, because I don't think there should be any guilt about it. I think it's just pure joy. I absolutely love it, and it really stands out to me. I loved it from the first time I listened to it, and it's just stayed with me. I think it's just joyful. It feels really authentic. This feels like, I don't know any of their other stuff, but this feels like something that they have properly built themselves. And this has not been mass produced. It's not been done with a computer. It feels like this is their song. And I think that matters a lot. And I think it really comes across, not only when you listen to it, but also when you're watching it. Again, and I respect massively that it's not in English. This sort of thing isn't you normally hear it in English at Eurovision. And the fact that it's catchy and I'm not a singer, but that, I think that really sticks in my head. And it's just, it's probably my favourite thing that Slovenia's ever sent. I was blown away the first time I heard it, because I was not expecting to love it as much as I do. And with the live performance, they've obviously done their showcase performances on the Eurovision YouTube channel. And they're so watchable, mainly because, and I hope they keep it really simple, but the lead singer has his eyes on you constantly. He rarely breaks the gaze of looking right down the camera. And it not only means you get to look at him a little bit more, and I'm not against looking at him, he's rather dishy, but it also has the brilliant effect of making you feel like you're the only person they're singing to. They're properly looking. It's a really engaging way of doing it. I don't know whether that was a deliberate thing, because it's staring at you without being creepy, which is like quite a fine line to straddle.
Yeah, it's weird, because I think then when you think about like last year's Slovenian entry, I think that had the potential of kind of staring and it feeling a bit kind of off-putting, whereas
I said that in the review last year. It's opposite. Like slightly serial killer. I sort of looked like I was going to be buried under his patio, but whereas that was like creepy, this is,
to be fair,
yeah, it was like that. It's not seductive, but it's like he's almost daring you to look at him. And I think it's a really, really engaging quality. And I think this really stands out. Really, really stands out. And even when I'm listening to the recap, and you can watch the recap of all the songs that we've built somewhere up there. We're going to put the little card up. If you watch it, it really stands out. So I wish, no matter how this ends up, and we'll get to where we think it'll do in a minute, I wish this band all the best, because they have completely won me over with this. And I think it is, I know we're not doing rankings this year, but this is easily one of my favourite songs of the year. I think it's really, really excellent. So that's our comments. Let's find out how we think it'll do, trying to get out of semi-final 2. In theory, the easier of the two. What do we think of it? Where is it in our semi-final? Predictions, and what's our ranking?
I think because semi-final 2 is, the weaker of the two, I think it should get through. My kind of reservation about getting through is that songs like this are quite difficult to stage. I mean, Friend of a Friend is kind of what I would, what I would immediately kind of compare it to. And that great song, staging, it's really, really tricky to kind of get it right. And I think when you look at the official video, that kind of suits it, but it's really tricky to get kind of songs like this right on stage at Eurovision because there's essentially kind of so much wow staging in other songs that it can quite easily fall through kind of the cracks and people kind of forget it because it's not something that you can have via dancing. Like it's tricky. I think it should get through, and I really enjoy it. So for me personally, it's an 8 out of 10.
Well, that is interesting. I agree that it should definitely go through. I've seen some predictions on like TikTok and Twitter and things and in YouTube comments of people saying it might not qualify. And there's only 16 songs in the semi-final. 10 of them are going to go through. Surely this has got to be one of them. By any metric, this is
it's
one
in that top 10. Yeah, it's
by
not
any way you look at it. There are 6 songs worse than this easily. And it's going in the second half of the second semi-final as well. So I can almost see it closing the semi-final, if I'm honest, because it is a crowd pleaser. And I've seen a lot of people being very, very positive about it. Yeah, I really, really love it, to be honest. And I think it should qualify. If there's any justice, it will qualify. How it will do in the final, again, depends on running order quite a lot. And you're right. These things are very difficult to stage. If it's done well, I can see it coming mid-table. That's often when Slovenia do well. That's often when they come. You're
right there.
I just funny. So yeah, I think if there's any justice, this will go through. I really, really hope it does. And again, no matter how this ends up for them, I hope they have a fantastic career off the back of this because they've certainly won a new fan in me. I think it's really, really strong. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it. There's only a few that are anywhere near that. There are no 10s this year, bar one. We'll get to that later on. But this is up there. Yeah, I really, really love it. So hopefully we both love it. We both hope it goes through. Do let us know what you think. The comments are open. Like, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell. You'll get notified every time we have a new video. And let us know whether you disagree or agree with us. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.